There's been a lot of talk about the future of Christian Pulisic, not least because of the players that are being linked with Chelsea for next season. Rafinha and Sterling, the hope of the club actually signing both of them is the report. As for Pulisic, he started just 13 games in the Premier League last season, featured in 38 overall, but if these players are to come in, he's set to face even stiffer competition for a starting spot. You do wonder, if they do come in, what it will mean for his future. We'll continue the chat on that with Frank Leboeuf as well. What do you think, Frank? What should Christian Pulisic do with the fact that we're seeing the names of these players linked with the club? Is he going to get pushed out?
It might be, and I would be him. I would think twice before staying for Chelsea. I always said that it wasn't the plan of Tuchel to put him in a starting 11, and it's never been the case. So if he wants more minutes, if he wants to be sure to lead the US team the best way that he wants to lead them, he should leave. Because I'm thinking that it's not a big plan of Tuchel, and players want to play, and Christian Pulisic wants to play. So the only solution for him is to leave the club.
One of the reports is that Chelsea have offered Pulisic in a bid to sign Matthijs de Ligt from Juve. It was originally Timo Werner in that deal, but now it's suddenly changed to Pulisic. So they've obviously got some plans for him if they can get him. Could you see him going to Juve and it being a better fit for him?
I'll be honest, I'm not 100% certain how good a fit it is. I understand Chelsea's interest in de Ligt and maybe using Pulisic as a make weight in that, because I don't think he gets more minutes this season, which obviously would be a concern. But Chelsea have made signings that have turned out really well that you didn't expect. Cuadrado from Chelsea, as an example, just didn't make sense at the time, but look at the service that he's provided for them. So while I sit here and say it doesn't really make an awful lot of sense to me, Pulisic to Juventus, or the interest from Juventus's perspective, they've been very good in assimilating players who you don't think fit. But they've done a very good job of it in the past.
Does it count for something, though, if you hear that Juve are keen to get you and they are keen to bring you in? For Christian Pulisic, when he probably does want to be guaranteed these starting minutes, should that count for him?
Well, it doesn't sound to me like Juve are desperate to bring him in. It sounds like Chelsea are desperate to get a centre-half and offload somebody with it, who Juventus might see as some sort of piece of the jigsaw. I would be concerned going to another huge club about game time, because Juventus will be smarting at their recent form. The fact that after that long period of domination in Italy, they're no longer the kingpins anymore, and with Max Allegri in there, albeit with the financial restrictions, they're looking for another assault on the Scudetto. And that puts pressure on managers and team selection, and you know he's already got that at Chelsea. So as Frank said, I mean, if he's got a brain in his head and a good agent, he goes in, he speaks to the club, he speaks to Tuchel, he says, look, I'll lay it on the table, lay the cards out. What's the situation? I want to play, I've got a World Cup, a lot of players have got a World Cup, but if I'm not going to play, I want to move on. And I've said many, many times, I feel that he's going to go to a club that sits just beneath where the others are. With no disrespect, but just throwing a few names out there, I'm not saying they're going to sign them, but Shaka's old club, West Ham, who were punching above their weight this year. These kind of clubs... Ambitious clubs. Yeah, clubs that are ambitious to try and get in there, and maybe if they get in the top four, it's a bonus for them. Or where he's going to play more often. That's where I see him going and getting some consistency, if he stays injury-free. I think if they do sign Rafinha, even before they sign Rafinha and Sterling, if that's what happens, this year was going to be a struggle for him again to get the game time that he wants. If you add those two in, it's going to be even more problematic.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.